when your whole disorder revolves around losing weight is actually very humiliating. So I would go to the ER or something, and they would take me seriously there because they didn't know my weight, but as soon as a doctor would see my weight, it was like nothing else mattered because of that one number. So the treatment center that I wasn't physically severe enough for decided that my mental state was severe enough to put me on a safety hold in an acute psych ward. And this is kind of odd that they treated it like a physical condition because eating disorders are mental illnesses. So when I got to the psych ward, I was told by a psychiatrist that I probably had OCD and not an eating disorder. She didn't catch on to the PTSD at all. And OCD actually shares some symptoms with anorexia and PTSD, but I've never had it. And that was actually a pretty terrifying situation to be in because I was on a hold, and for that reason I was pretty much totally under their control. And the psychiatrist had just shown me that she couldn't see the PTSD symptoms I was exhibiting, she didn't understand eating disorders, and she was kind of throwing around diagnoses. So I was very afraid of the possibility of being diagnosed with something more serious that might require something like electroshock therapy. And eating disorders are anxiety disorders. So they start with a high level of anxiety, and the effects of malnutrition just multiply that anxiety. So the situation was actually very scary for me with all that anxiety. And it's very common for people with anorexic symptoms who are told by doctors or other sources that they're not severe because of their weight to react to this shame of that experience by losing more weight and shunning further treatment until they are emaciated. And by that time, recovery is a lot harder. So I could have just hung out at the psych ward for a bit longer until I lost enough weight for the inpatient treatment. But the whole time I was going through this, I actually had the Joy Project telling me the truth about eating disorders and the support group members believing in me, and that helped me get the strength to say that I don't want to wait another month until all my muscles are burned off. And I founded a residential treatment at a place that recognized the severity of my eating disorder.